Have you ever wondered what happens when a Sigma male truly reaches his limit? I'm not talking about those everyday moments of frustration, but rather that turning point where everything changes. Welcome to Official Sigma Male, where today we will reveal the darkest and most powerful secrets that few dare to discuss. What you're about to discover in this video is not for everyone. In fact, many would prefer this information to remain hidden. Because when a Sigma hits his breaking point, he doesn't crumble like others, he transforms. And this transformation is so profound and terrifying that it forever shifts the balance of power in any environment. If you've ever felt that there's something greater inside you, something waiting to be unleashed, this video could be the catalyst you've been waiting for. 1. The calm before the storm. In the silence of his solitude, the Sigma male builds an unshakable fortress that few can comprehend. Like a dormant volcano, he maintains an outward calm, while an extraordinary pressure builds within. This duality between serenity and contained power is what makes the Sigma truly formidable. Subtle signs begin to appear as the breaking point approaches. His gaze becomes sharper, his responses more concise, and his presence more intense. Like a predator observing from the shadows, the Sigma starts calculating every move with mathematical precision. Voluntary isolation intensifies, not out of weakness, but as a strategy. During this period, the Sigma refines his skills and sharpens his mind like a blade. Those who know him notice a shift in his energy, like the heavy air before a thunderstorm. The silent transformation is the prelude to something greater. In this phase, the Sigma begins shedding unnecessary social bonds, focusing his energy on specific goals. It's the moment when social masks fade and his true nature emerges. 2. The manifestation of inner power. The Sigma's transformation reaches a critical point where his contained energy begins to manifest physically. His posture becomes more dominant, his voice deeper and more resonant, and his presence more magnetic. Like a volcano on the verge of erupting, every fiber of his being radiates an intensity that cannot be ignored. Those who once underestimated him now feel an inexplicable respect mingled with fear. The Sigma doesn't need to raise his voice or make threats. His mere presence communicates a clear message of power and authority. This shift in social dynamics is so palpable that even the most arrogant start reconsidering their stance. In the workplace, his decisions become bolder and more precise, marking a turning point in his trajectory. He no longer seeks the approval of others, but acts with an unwavering conviction that challenges established norms. His actions are backed by an inner confidence he has been cultivating for years. Those around him notice a change in the atmosphere when he is present, as if the air becomes heavier and every word he speaks carries the weight of a decree. It's the moment when the Sigma stops adapting to the world and starts making the world adapt to him, manifesting a natural authority that few possess. 3. The awakening of lethal strategy. At this stage, the Sigma develops an extraordinary mental clarity that turns him into a formidable strategist in all aspects of his life. His moves become calculated with surgical precision. Every action has a specific purpose aligned with his long-term goals. Like a chess master, he envisions several steps ahead, while his opponents can barely see the present. The Sigma's patience becomes his most lethal weapon, refined through years of observation and self-control. He no longer reacts impulsively to provocations, but waits for the perfect moment to execute his plans, knowing that time is his most valuable ally. His adversaries mistake his calmness for weakness, not realizing that every moment of apparent inaction is part of a larger strategy. His analytical ability reaches superior levels, allowing him to identify patterns and weaknesses that others cannot perceive in the complex game of life. Like an experienced hunter, he observes, studies, and waits, gathering vital information about every player in his surroundings. This skill enables him to anticipate moves and prepare countermeasures long before they are needed. The Sigma's network of influence expands silently, weaving a web of connections and resources that bolster his position. Without fanfare or proclamations, he builds strategic alliances and positions his pieces on the social board with mathematical precision. His rivals only realize the magnitude of his strategy when they are already completely surrounded by his influence. 4. Breaking social chains. The Sigma reaches a point where social expectations and external opinions completely lose their hold on him. This awakening is accompanied by a total liberation from the social conditioning that once limited his potential. Like an eagle breaking free from its cage, he spreads his wings with an unshakable determination that defies all established conventions. The social transformation manifests as total indifference to external validation and superficial judgments. The Sigma develops an internal moral compass so powerful that social pressures become insignificant compared to his clear vision of the world. This newfound freedom allows him to navigate society with an authenticity that intimidates those trapped by social conventions. 4. Breaking social chains. His personal relationships undergo a natural purge where only those who bring real value to his life remain. The Sigma establishes clear and firm boundaries, unafraid of solitude or rejection, knowing that his peace of mind and integrity are more valuable than any superficial company. This natural selection within his social circles creates an environment that enhances his growth. Society begins to adapt to him rather than the other way around, creating a unique phenomenon where his authenticity naturally attracts people who resonate with his frequency. Like a beacon in the darkness, his unfiltered and genuine presence starts to inspire others to break free from their own social chains, triggering a domino effect of transformation in his surroundings. 5. The power of creative destruction. When the Sigma reaches this level, he develops a unique ability to destroy and rebuild aspects of his life with surgical precision. Like an architect demolishing obsolete structures, he mercilessly removes everything that no longer serves his higher purpose, from toxic relationships to limiting habits. This destruction is not chaotic, but methodical and calculated, always with a plan for reconstruction in mind. His mind becomes a laboratory of innovation, where every failure is transformed into an opportunity for reinvention. The Sigma embraces moments of crisis as catalysts for change, using pressure as fuel for his metamorphosis. This ability to turn adversity into advantage makes him practically indestructible in the eyes of those who observe him. The transformation extends to every aspect of his life, from his career to his personal development. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, each cycle of destruction makes him stronger and wiser. His competitors watch in amazement as he turns apparent defeats into strategic victories, redefining the rules of the game in his favor. The outside world perceives these changes with a mix of admiration and fear, for the Sigma has mastered the art of personal transmutation. His presence becomes a living reminder that true power doesn't lie in maintaining the status quo, but in the ability to destroy and rebuild when necessary. This skill makes him an unstoppable agent of change. 6. The final manifestation of Sigma power. In this final phase, the Sigma achieves a state of personal power that transcends all conventional expectations and limitations. His presence becomes so magnetic and powerful that even those who try to resist inevitably find themselves drawn into his orbit. Like a black hole in the social universe, his influence becomes a gravitational force that alters the space around him. The manifestation of his power no longer requires conscious effort. It has become a natural state of being. His actions, words, and decisions exude an authority that doesn't need external validation, creating a field of influence that silently transforms everyone who comes into contact with him. Former detractors now inexplicably seek his approval and advice. The control he exerts over his environment is total but subtle, like a chess master who has foreseen every possible move. His ability to manipulate circumstances in his favor becomes so refined that it seems as though he operates on a higher level of consciousness. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable now naturally dissolve in his presence, as if the universe itself conspires in his favor. At this point, the Sigma has become a force of nature, unstoppable and uncontrollable by conventional means. His legacy is no longer measured in material achievements, but by the profound impact he leaves on those who cross his path. Like a beacon in the darkness, his example inspires others to seek their own path to personal power, creating a cascading effect of transformation in society. Conclusion: what you've witnessed today on Official Sigma Male is not just information, it's an awakening. Each of these 6 signs represents a doorway to a power that has always been within you, waiting to be unleashed. The question now is, are you ready to take that step? Are you prepared to let your true Sigma self emerge, no matter the consequences? If this video resonated deeply with you, it's because you are part of that select group destined for more. Don't let this knowledge remain just theory. Subscribe now to Official Sigma Male and turn on notifications, because we'll continue to reveal the most powerful strategies every Sigma needs to know. Remember, true power isn't in avoiding the breaking point, but in transforming it into your greatest strength. Do you dare to take the next step?